Hello everybody, and welcome back to another good gameplay with Cactus Rocket Ship, guys. We are playing more Doki Blue Skies to continue the game. Sorry about my voice, guys. I have been a little bit sick lately and I have a sore throat. So we're just gonna hop right in, guys, continuing where we left off when we were talking to Sayori about her going to therapy, and we made the choice where we're gonna go with her, guys. So let's continue, guys, right now. Before I know it, the weekend has already arrived. It's been a few days since Sayori agreed to try therapy. With a slight nudge from me, she spoke to her doctor, who managed to arrange for her first therapy session tomorrow. As relieved as I am with such a speedy response, I'm still fairly apprehensive. Seeing how pervasive her condition is, interfering with her ability to get homework done, twisting her self-perception, it's been daunting, I can't lie. I guess just seeing how serious depression is has been a shock to my system. A part of me does worry that somehow me getting involved is actually a bad thing. Perhaps I'm somehow making it more complicated. Do I really know what I'm getting into here? No, Lorenzo, don't listen to that silly, irrational side. Let's look at the positive. She's agreed to get some help, so this is the first step to recovery. Yeah, that's true. Plus, I'm going with her, so at least we're making the step together, right? It should be fine. Being a chronic over-worry truly is a curse. Being with Sayori makes me happy. It's best to focus on that and stop worrying about what could go wrong. Okay, all right, I gotta calm down, because like I said, I get so nervous, because if I constantly focus on the negatives, well, that's no good for anyone. Stay positive, optimistic outlook. Lorenzo, optimistic outlook. After completing my morning routine, I find myself sitting at my kitchen aimlessly wondering about how to spend the day. One of the drawbacks of your first relationship is that you don't really know what you're meant to do with your partner. It's too cold to spend much time outdoors, so we're limited to the indoors. I check my watch, 10:14 a.m. pretty early. Sayori wouldn't even be awake yet. As I gaze idly settles on the used plates in front of me, an idea hits me. Oh, Sayori would love this. About an half hour later, my work is done and carefully placed into a bag. I make the trip over to her room, hoping that she's still asleep. As I was hoping, she's fast asleep. No surprise given, it's not even 11 yet. As I approach her, I'm struck by how cute she looks when she's sleeping. Wait, that didn't sound super creepy, did it? I mentally chastised myself. Stop being so worried, Lorenzo. But the way she's curled up into a ball, even with her hair being a mess and a slight trickle of drool leaking from her mouth, she's perfect. I don't think there is any way that this girl could ever look anything less than beautiful. The light sound of her snoring turned my light smile into a heartfelt grin. Setting down my bag, I quietly walk over to her and gently brush a lock of hair that's fallen into her open mouth. She stirs slightly as my hand brushes against her forehead. Wakey wakey, sleepyhead. 5 more minutes. I made you breakfast. She groggily sits up and rubs her eyes, hugging the blanket closer to her. You didn't have to, Lorenzo. I can't help but feel disappointed and slightly irritated by her reaction. I was looking forward to seeing how exuberant she'd be. Hope I said that right. What time is it? Like 11? Yawning, she pushes the cover off and sits up. She still looks quite tired. She gingerly opens the bag and forces a smile onto her face. You can thank your dear sunshine poem for inspiration, especially the last line. God, I'm so selfish. I have such a thoughtful boyfriend who's been super considerate and made me breakfast in bed, and I can't even thank you properly. You went through All this just for me? Anyone else would be really appreciative, and yet here I am complaining that you're here. No, it's not like that at all. I mean, yeah, I was hoping you'd be a little bit happier to see me, but, well, it's kind of on me for forgetting how difficult mornings can be for you. Don't worry about it. I can tell that my words haven't convinced her in the slightest, and I don't get the feeling that you don't want me here. Relax. She slowly starts chewing on the food. This is really good. It's pretty basic stuff, to be honest, but I'm glad you like it. Natsuki's cooking has nothing on me, as you can see. How is it that you can make me laugh even when it's the last thing I want to do? Magic, I think? Maybe I was a comedian is my past life. It's a question that science has been trying to answer for the past 100 or so years. By the way, can we just have a lazy day today? I don't really feel like going outside or anything. Fine by me. After she finishes eating, we made our way back to mine. We pretty much resumed our standard activity of cuddling on the sofa. Maybe my earlier worries were unfounded after all. We're both content in just being in each other's presence regardless of the activity. I aimlessly flicking through the movie channel on TV. I whip out my phone. Yuri. Hi Lorenzo, what's up? Not much. Yuri carries on typing and she's taking an awful long time to reply. I get the feeling that she's plucking up the courage to ask me something. I was wondering, go on. Would you like to discuss the book with me today? I haven't read much of it, to be honest. I think the movie version is on Netflix though. Hang on, let me check. Oh gosh. What's up? Oh, you know the book Yuri lent me? I'm checking to see if it's on Netflix. We're gonna have a horror night? Well, I told Yuri I let her know my thoughts on the book with her, but I haven't really read enough of it to really discuss it. But if I can find it on Netflix, then I thought we could all watch it together instead. Oh, here it is. Oh, she doesn't like that idea. She just wants to be alone with us too. Are you okay with this? Of course. Am I doing the right thing? I'm so scared. I'd be a terrible friend if I stopped her from coming over. Other people are out there having tough times, so. She drifts her attention to the television, a wan smile on her face. Okay, I figured that if you were here too, you wouldn't feel like I was, I don't know, leaving you out or anything. Oh my gosh. When the girl says it's fine, it's not fine. Dear God, that clown looks even uglier on the big screen. I've never liked clowns. Good news, I found it. You can come over. Sarah's here too, by the way. Oh gosh. One text later, and Yuri's waiting outside my door, book in hand. Hey Yuri, come on in. Sarah's in the living room. Good afternoon, Lorenzo. Thank you for suggesting this. By the way, I haven't seen the movie version yet. Yeah, neither have we. Should be interesting. Hey Yuri. Yuri smiles and greetings. I've heard things about the film adaptation, so I'm hopeful that this will be enjoyable. Only one way to find out. As predicted, Sayori is a massive chicken jumping at every loud noise and suspenseful scene. On the other hand, Yuri seems totally engrossed in the movie, never once looking away during an ominous scene. For the most part, it's difficult to read her face as she remains fairly impassive, although a look of wonder and interest occasionally flickers across her face, especially when the monster is on screen. It's definitely one of the better horror movies I watched. Granted, that isn't saying much, and I haven't seen too many. I have to admit, the acting in the film really sells it. Both the clown and the young kids who serve as the protagonist are brought to life really well. Oh no, please don't tell me they're gonna go in the creepy building. Why would they go in there? It's just a nightmare waiting to happen. She ducks behind a cushion, only peering out intermittently. Something she took to doing once the clown was first introduced. I laugh and pull her close. She cuddles into my shoulder, turning her face so she can still see. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Yuri quickly throwing us a glance. From my periphery vision, it's hard to tell, but she looks a little sad. I grimace a little. Clearly, I forgot how isolated Yuri feels at home. Watching Sayori and I cuddle is probably a painful reminder, especially if Sayori's prediction about how Yuri feels about me is true. An hour or so later, and the movie's over. It's been really interesting to hear Yuri's thoughts, not just on the movie, but on the horror genre on the whole. And that's something I admire about the book and the movie, how both approach and present the main theme of fear. A lot of the film adaptations of books tend to over-sensationalize the content, and many horror movies rely on cheap jump scares to elicit a reaction. Of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with a jump scare, but I find the best horror tends to really get under your skin and makes you think. Well, after you finish. Yeah, I agree. Jump scares just annoy me, really. They startle me, sure, and the build-up can be tense. But from what I've seen, horror movies make it really obvious when one's coming up. The music goes really quiet or really spooky. The character is in a dark place. Indeed, sadly, it's quite a common occurrence when modern horror. There's not much left to your imagination. I can't help but notice that Sayori's been very quiet throughout the discussion Yuri and I are having. You okay, Sayori? I don't really have much to say. You two carry on, I'm fine. She's looking absently at the screen. It's unfortunate that the second part of the movie isn't out yet. It's like being able to only read half of the book. The second part is about how the characters come back to fight the clown when they're adults, right? Indeed, and that's where the plot really shines. Anyway, I have some errands to be getting on with, so I'm gonna have to leave. Thank you both, by the way. I really appreciate it. That's okay, Yuri. I hope you're feeling better. Yuri turns to me. Oh, did you tell her? Oh my gosh. In my haste to reassure Sayori that nothing was going on between Yuri and I totally forget that Yuri's confession was like confidential. Oh damn, yeah, I did. Sorry, Yuri. I didn't realize it was private. It's okay. I suppose it's only fair that there's clarity between two people in a relationship. But I'm glad that Yuri's so understanding. Anyway, I'll see you two on Monday. Goodbye. See ya. Bye, Yuri. As Yuri leaves, I turn to Sayori. She's looking a little riffle. I hope you were right about therapy, Lorenzo. I'm dreading tomorrow. It's gonna be just fine. Don't worry. I hope so. I should probably get going as well. I'll see you tomorrow. And with a wave, she departs as well. Oh my gosh. Oh. So wait, today's Sunday, so we're going on a Sunday to therapy. Okay, Sayori, this is it. Go to therapy. As my eyes slowly open, I can't help but feel nervous about how today will go. I can only imagine how nervous Sayori is. Such a big step for her too. I just hope it goes well. Hey Sayori, ready to get going? Yeah. She's a little quiet and not quite as chipper as she usually is. The journey to the clinic is a quiet one. Thankfully, it's only a short walk away. Well, that was interesting. Her therapist was incredibly patient and empathetic, never once being insensitive with the questioning. He spent the majority of the session getting a picture of her current life situation, to which Sayori was generally compliant. Also, we already went already. Oh, okay. I think that after she told me about her depression, it might have become a little bit easier to talk about, given I was the first person she confessed to. She didn't look entirely comfortable, but after a few reassuring smiles from me, She was able to answer his questions. The session passed by relatively quick, and before we knew it, it was already over. Sayori is quiet as she breaks the silence. I've heard a few horror stories about people who get really intensive therapists, and I was really scared that he'd be one of them, but he was really patient, so that could have gone a lot worse. She throws off into silence. I'm really proud of you, Sayori. I know that must have been really hard for you to do. What with how confusing all this can be. It really does make me happy that you're doing this. I'm glad to hear that, Lorenzo. I really am. Okay, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. By the way, can we spend the rest of the day together? I don't want to go home just yet. Of course we can. Rolling up on the couch it is. After swinging by the shops to get some snacks, we find ourselves back in our typical cuddling spot. It's rather quiet between us. Given, I suppose, after the therapy session, there's a lot to take in for both of us. Tagging along to the session raised so many questions in my mind, though. Now it's the best time to ask them, though. Hey, Sayori? Yeah? Why don't we play something? We don't have enough people for a board game, though. No, I don't mean board games. Remember when we used to play video games together when we were kids? I've always found video games as a really good way to escape reality. Last year, when I was really lonely, I found it helped to take my mind off of things. Plus, there's some games I have that I think you might enjoy. She sits up. Sure, that can be fun. What games are you thinking of? As it turns out, I still have some of those games we used to play. Do you remember Banjo-Kazooie? Oh, that one with the bear? Yep, that's the one. Let's give it a whirl. As I was hoping, gaming has proven to be a wonderful way to get her mind off therapy. She's truly lost in the colorful, immersive world with her face scrunched up in determination. Oh my goodness. At first, she wasn't very good at the game, struggling with the controls, getting lost, and generally being unsure of what she's meant to do. Although after a few pointers from me, she really started to pick it up and was soon getting the hang of it. Sayori can be really good at things when she puts her mind to it. It's almost uncanny how skilled she can be, especially as it contrasts against the airheaded vibe she can give off. I knew I'd find the jigsaw piece there. I laugh. She's having a great time, and it's heartwarming to see her so happy, even if it's over just a video game. Nothing will ever beat seeing Sayori smile. You never know just how cute you are, Sayori. Just seeing you happy makes me so happy. And I swear that nothing will ever change that. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but where did all of this come from? Truth be told, I'm not really sure. Being with her in the therapy room just now was quite eye-opening for me. Not just because I got to see how therapy works, but because it's really dawning on me that she has depression, and this is something we can't deal with alone. Of course, I believe her when she said she was depressed back in November, but when meeting the therapist and watching him do his job really drove the point home. I'm obviously really glad she's seeking help, but it made me think. She's been depressed for a long time, and I've only recently came back into her life. What was life like for her while we weren't friends? Probably awful and super lonely. Lorenzo? Are you there? It's true. Like, kind of sad. What's up? Her bright smile does nothing for my guilt. I'm sorry, Sayori. What are you sorry for, silly? We've only properly begun to hang out not too long ago, right? In September? She pauses the game and sets the controller down, sensing the urgency in the situation. And you've been depressed for so many years, but I wasn't there for you. We drifted apart, all because of what? Because I was an idiot who prioritized gaming and anime over you. I can't even imagine how hard things were for you when we weren't really talking. Renzo, none of that is your fault. She gently takes my hand in hers, and part of me thinks that, well, had I made more of an effort with you back then, perhaps your us drifting apart didn't cause me to be depressed, Lorenzo. Truthfully, I don't really know why I developed depression. There's a lot I don't know about my condition, but one thing I know is that it doesn't really need a person. That's what my doctor said the last time I tried therapy. So please, don't ever think that you somehow contributed to my depression, okay? You're like the polar opposite. When I'm with you, I'm happy. You make me feel like I'm actually worth something, even though my brain tries really hard to tell me that you're lying. Yeah, but that's in the present. What about in the past? When there were years where we didn't hang out at all. I actually had this conversation with Monica once. It's normal for friendships to be like that, I think. You can go a long time without talking to someone, but if you reconnect with them and you can both get along as if nothing ever happened, did anything really change? The way I see it, we get along just well as we did as kids. Besides, what happened in the Besides, what happened in the past was the past. If anything, the time apart made me appreciate the time I do spend with you even more. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, Sayori. I really am. It's just, well, you going to therapy today made me realize that reality of depression, and it made me reflect on how much I've been absent in your life. I didn't mean to spring this on you out of the blue like that, especially when you wanted to take your mind off of therapy. It was pretty inconsiderate of me. It's okay, it really is. I'm just glad that we can talk these things out, you know? You've been really patient with me, so it's the least I can do for you. And I'd much rather we talk about whatever bothers you than you bolting it up. After all, bottles are meant to be shared, right? That was clever. If you say so. I do. Seriously, Lorenzo, please don't blame yourself for anything, okay? I've been much happier ever since you came back into my life. I wouldn't have been able to go to therapy if you weren't with me. And like you said, well, I agree. It is a big step to take. There's a faraway look in her eye as she ponders her next word. I'd gotten so many years thinking that this was something I'd have to bear alone. But I have to admit that it's nice not having to go through this by myself. She squeezes my hand. Besides, we can't really change the past, can we? Yeah. I guess you're right. You really do have such a big heart, you know that? Nothing ever changed with you. And that's never gonna change. The moments like these that really bring out a warm, fuzzy feeling inside of me. I've never felt anything like this before, but it feels so right. Now, I think we have some jigsaws to collect. Of course. Let's get back to the game, shall we? She reaches for the controller and starts playing once more. Within seconds, we're whisked away into a world of childhood memories. The feel of her warmth in my arms, the sound of her innocent laughter, and the smell of her hair. The little voice of guilt reminds me, but it's now easier to ignore it. Whoa, it's super late already, and tomorrow's school day as well. No fun. Tell me about it. Monday mornings are the absolute worst. Not even Sakurai can save them. I just want another break. We just had our Christmas one. I know. Oh well. Anyway, I should get going. Oh, leaving so soon? My attempt at pulling puppy dog eyes causes her to laugh and shake her head. But it's late. I reach toward her and pull her into an embrace. In a playful attempt to stop her from leaving, I push her back down on the sofa, wrapping my arms tightly around her body. You've fallen into my grand trap. Now there's no escape. Whatever can I do? Nothing. My mastermind plan is absolutely wait, foolproof. Is it Sayori proof? What do you? Her lips meet mine, and I'm taken down into another world. And it's almost scary how powerful this sensation is whenever we kiss. No fair. Are you complaining? If you prefer, I could just. Her tone is innocent and playful. Not kiss you again. Hey, I didn't say that. Okay. You win. But there's one thing you didn't prepare for. I quickly boop her on the nose. Boop. Surprise sneaky boops aren't allowed. Oh, but surprise sneaky kisses are. You had me trapped. It was just self-defense. So was my boop. This isn't over, meanie. Looking forward to our rematch then. I reach over and check my phone. It's almost midnight. Holy crap. As much as I hate to admit, we probably should call it a day. Although having said that, an idea just popped into my mind. Okay, Sayori. How about... oh my gosh. I'll walk you home. Can you, stay the night? I mean, they're both good answers, right? But what if we don't wake up tomorrow morning? And you... Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her if she can stay the night. I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna do it. Oh gosh, okay. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Why don't you stay the night? Here? That way we can also make breakfast tomorrow morning before school. Okay, I didn't think of that. Where would we sleep though? Well, I was thinking I could take the sofa and you can have my bed. What? What like... Wouldn't you want to like cuddle in bed? What? I guess that was like, I don't know. That was like the other game I played, like the mod of it. Anyways, you can have my bed. Nuh-uh, there's no way I'm letting that happen. Okay, I think she's getting it. There it is. There. I should have just kept playing. Why did I stop? You can sleep with me. There's an awkward silence for a second, made slightly comical by fact Sayori hasn't realized the implications of her words. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I meant. Anyway, I'm just gonna get my stuff from my place, so I'll be back in a second. Alright. Oh my gosh. After completing my bedtime preparations, I wearily slide into bed, thinking about the conversation that took place today. There's been a lot to take in, I suppose. Ever since Sayori became my girlfriend, there's always been a nagging fear that I'm getting into something that's way beyond me. Going to therapy has helped dispel that worry though. Today was relatively smooth, and I'm hoping that doesn't change. Faintly, I hear the click of the front door, followed by footsteps. I'm just gonna get changed, then I'll join you. As Sayori approaches the bed, I can't help but notice how nice her legs look in those shorts. Oh my god. Wouldn't you be cold in those pajamas? Nope. I have you to warm me up, remember? I'm suddenly very grateful that I have the blanket covering my body. She slides in next to me, pulling the blanket over herself slowly. She inches over to me and positions herself so that the top of her head lies just below my chin. Resting her head on my chest, she looks up at me, moves in for a quick kiss, and giggles. At such proximity, I can hear her heartbeat. Her hands feel soft and warm against the fabric of my shirt. She's incredibly warm, but it isn't overbearing in the slightest. On instinct, I wrap my arm around her body and rest my face atop her hair. Good night, Sayori. I plant a kiss on her forehead. Good night, Lorenzo. Yeah, we better wake up. I swear, we better wake up and go to school. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Suddenly, I'm pulled out of my sleep by what appears to be sobbing. As I slowly fight the grogginess, I'm also aware of a slight dampness on my chest. I hate it when Sayori has a nightmare. The feeling of powerlessness, the sound of her tears, the look of anguish on her face, it always hits hard. Oh no. I need you. Come back. Please come back. Sayori. I gently shake her head. Shh, Sayori, it's okay. I'm here. It's okay. You know, this was actually a good thing that I told her to come over, because if she would have went home, she would have had a nightmare by herself. I did the right choice. I hold her as she carries on whimpering. She clings to me even harder, shaking with fear. I can only imagine what's going on inside her head. I fumbled for my phone. The blinding glare tells me it's 7:01 in the morning. Renzo? It's me, Sayori. You were just having a nightmare. Don't worry. I've got you. I stroke her hair softly as her crying subsides. That was horrible. What happened? She takes a deep breath and composes herself. Everything was so dark. You, Yuri, Monica, Natsuki, you were all there. But whenever I tried to talk to you, it was like there was an invisible bubble around me. None of you can hear me, but there was this shadowy figure that kept talking to me. And it kept saying horrible, horrible things. It told me that I was useless and that everyone would be so much better if I wasn't around. That you'd be much happier with Yuri. And that therapy is pointless and I'm just fighting a losing battle. It's nothing more than false hope, no matter how hard I try to believe otherwise. She sniffles. I tried calling out to you, to the girls, to anyone, but it was just me and the voice tormenting me, telling me everything that I've been trying so hard not to believe. It felt so real, Lorenzo, so real. Just when I thought things might have had a chance of being okay again. I hate this. Why can't I just be normal? And it's already 7. I'm sorry, Lorenzo. I just can't go to school today. It's okay. I won't go either. But what about I couldn't care less about that? There's no way in hell that I'm going to leave you alone after what you've just experienced. So she would have had that nightmare alone if I would have walked her home. And I would just been like, oh, she's sleeping in. I'll meet her at school. And I probably would have went to school without knowing about her dream. I can miss the odd day of off school. It's fine. She opens her mouth to protest, but upon seeing the steely resolution on my face, she reluctantly abates. I'll get you some water. Be back in a second. I don't know why I'm like this, Lorenzo. Why is it that something as stupid as a little nightmare makes me feel this bad? I was hoping that finally there was a light at the end of the tunnel. But that was just naive of me, wasn't it? It's okay, you don't have to say anything, Lorenzo. I know you might feel like you have to say some magical words to make me feel better, but all you have to do is listen. What really hurts me was the voice telling me that you'd be much better off with Yuri as a girlfriend. I'm really trying hard to believe that I'm a good girlfriend and that I'm worth your time, but those doubts are always there in the back of my mind. I know you'd never break my trust, but I just wish I could convince my stupid brain to see it the same way. And it's so unfair because I can see how hard you're trying. Please believe me when I say I really appreciate you, Lorenzo, but I'm just so scared that it might all be for nothing. What do you mean? Well, what if I never get better? What if I'm always going to be like this? My pieces are all broken. You're trying so hard to put them back together, but what if you can't? What if you can't put them back together because some of them are gone? I hate feeling like this, feeling like I've lost something that I'll never get back. No matter how good you support or how well therapy goes, I can't remember the last time I wasn't so tired, Lorenzo. That's the worst part about my depression. The exhaustion that never goes away. And exhaustion that sleep can never fix. The only thing about sleep is that it's an escape from my mind, at least for a few hours. Well, when I don't have nightmares, I'm just so tired of it all. Tears slowly starts leaking down her face once more. Her face looks utterly resigned. I wish that I could just wake up one day and actually have hope. She faces me with a sad smile. Her cheeks glisten with tears. Actual, genuine hope. A hope that maybe, just maybe, things might be okay. Just when I begin to think that could be true, days like these happen. I hate these days. I hate these days so much. Therapy is already hard enough, and these nightmares make me feel like what little progress I've made has been reset. All of the doubts that I try so hard to keep in the check break free, and they're merciless. I wipe away a few of her tears and gently grasp her hands in mine. We will get through this, Sayori. Wait. We will get through this together, Sayori. Just like I said, I don't care how long it takes or what we have to endure. That's a promise. But I'm never going to stop until we see this through. She looks away. Why is it that I never feel like I'm actually getting through to her? I have to try and stay positive for both our sakes. Even though seeing her like this is one of the most demoralizing things on the planet, no matter what, you'll never be alone in dealing with this. And if your pieces are broken, we'll create new ones. I can imagine how hard it is for you. Really, Lorenzo? How can you possibly know what it's like to feel how I'm feeling? Exactly. You don't know what it feels like, what this feels like. The contrast numbness, the constant feeling that no matter what I do, the shadow will always be here. Crying myself to sleep, waking up in tears, having to fake everything because you're terrified that people will see the real you. But I've seen the real you, and you're still here and you're still trying to help. I get it. I really do. I know you're trying to help, but it's hard to see your encouragement as anything more than just empty words. This isn't something you can fix by saying the right stuff. She bursts into tears once more. As much as I wish it was, I scoop her into her hug. She tries to push me away initially, but I hold firm, holding her closer to my chest. She eventually gives in and sobs unrestrainedly into my chest. I'm scared, Lorenzo. I just can't. This is so hard, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm not giving up on her, guys. Guys, I love Sayori. Okay, I admit in the past, I kind of did when I first began playing Doki Doki. Like, I kind of loved Yuri. I kind of even love Monica. She's so pretty, and even like Natsuki too. I loved her also because she's like anime and manga. But guys, after playing the game, going through it, and just realizing my heart truly belongs to Sayori, guys. This is why I've gone back. I played the Salvation mod just for her, to save her. I've played the One Last Memory to get that last memory with her. And now I'm playing Blue Skies just so I can save her, guys. I love her so much, guys. And this is just crazy. I just want this game to go good and do everything I can to save her. And the developers who put this game together is definitely getting me through this experience and to see what is gonna happen. I like the words I'm saying in there. I'll keep going through it many times to get those pieces right for her, because Sayori is just I freaking love her so much. Okay, back to the game. I whisper softly in her ear as I gently stroke the back of her head. I know, Sayori, I'm scared as well. We both fall silent with the only sounds permeating the room until wait. The room begins being the sound of her anguished cries. Sayori, she mumbles into my chest. I'm sorry if I say the wrong things. I just don't know what the right things to say or do are. This whole thing is just totally alien to me. And after you told me that my words are pretty much empty. Oh no. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It came out much harsher than I intended. I want to believe what you say, I really do. I know that I shouldn't feel jealous and that I shouldn't compare myself to the other girls. I want to believe all of the lovely, reassuring things you say to me, but I can't. I know that what you're asking makes sense. Well, no, what you're saying makes sense. It's just internalizing it is a whole other story. It's not your problem. It's all on me. Being unable to get over this stupid thing. Depression isn't just a stupid thing though. I know it's much more than that, Lorenzo. I just can't help how angry it makes me. I just want to be normal like everyone else. It's like I'm not in control of my own body. The depression is the one that chooses my mood for the day. It chooses how I react to things and what I say. Like the day you made me breakfast. I really wish that I was appreciative from the start instead of being irritated that you were in my room so early. It's so unfair. And I keep going on and on about it, and don't ever apologize for venting about your depression, Sayori. I know that my words probably don't sound as reassuring and helpful as I want them to be, but one thing that'll never change will be my willingness to listen. You've been battling this alone for so long, so it's only fair that I can be a shoulder to cry on. Problem shared is a problem halved, right? Well, it's obviously not that simple in this case, but it's something. She sniffles and nods slowly. It does help to at least be able to talk about it. That's something then. Having you around, as much as I don't think I deserve your support, it does make a difference. And that makes me happy then. Really? Yeah, I might not be a huge help, but it's still some help, surely. She pauses to reflect. Yeah, I guess so. She nods and shifts herself so that her head lies on my lap. Once she settles, I start finally stroking her hair. My mom told me that there would be days like these. Well, back in November after our fight, I was a bit lost. I didn't know who to turn to, so I asked my mom for advice. What did she say? She said if you date someone with depression, you'll have good days like the ones we've had before, and bad days like today, I guess. Sayori falls silent once more. She looks a little reflective and thankfully doesn't seem to mind that I told my mom about her condition. Does she have depression herself? Nope. But she dated someone who had it in the past. It's kind of spooky how accurate her advice was. What was it? She told me about how important it is to be patient and understanding for a start. Which you have been. I don't know. I still have no idea what I'm doing, and I don't really know if I'm saying or doing the right things. I thought I was, but after you told me that my words are just empty, I'm starting to doubt everything. A lot of regret flashes across her face. Sorry, I didn't mean that. For what it's worth, you've been a great boyfriend, Lorenzo. It's just not fair on you. Your heart has always been in the right place, and you put up with my moods. Well, that's reassuring to her at least. And all I can do in return is snap at you for the smallest things. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Mom did warn me. And being honest with you, it's times like these that make me realize just how serious depression is. But I'm glad I got the wake up call sooner rather than later. Neither of us really know what we're doing, but at least we have each other, right? It's also our first relationship, so we've really been fighting an uphill battle from the start. I've definitely enjoyed my time with you so far, and you think I'm a good boyfriend, so we could be doing a lot worse. I don't know, could we? I feel like our relationship has just been you putting up with me. Do we have a future together? Her words cut deep, knowing that she has these doubts, especially this early on. What do you think? Honest question. I don't know. Do you want us to have a future together? Yes, so do I. But what about when we start our last year in school? Or when we leave school? What if we go to the university? What if you go to the university and I don't? What if, Sayori, listen to me. Let's just take our relationship one day at a time, okay? That is true. That is like crazy, because like high school to like going off to college is just so different. Like it's just, oh my gosh. You could probably drive yourself crazy by trying to predict the future. Do I know if we'll be together in a year? Truthfully, I don't. I have no clue what life will be like after school. But there's no point worrying about it now because it doesn't get you anywhere. Yeah, you're right. She gives a short, humorous laugh. I'm glad that one of us can think rationally. Nah. Remember how I thought we'd let a spirit loose in the classroom back in October? That was the polar opposite of rational. I really enjoyed that day. It was nice to dress up in a silly costumes and scare each other. Real throwback to our childhood. Definitely a highlight of the year, along with Christmas. There's something really satisfying about seeing someone light up when they unwrap a present you got them. I have the photo you gave me in my room. By the way, it always makes me smile whenever I see it. Even when you're not physically around, you still make me happy. Please don't forget that. Thank you, Lorenzo. I'll do my best. You know what's kind of crazy too? How she was talking about like she had a dream of like this shadowy figure telling her that I'd be better off with Yuri. And it's crazy because like what I said in the beginning, like I was like simping over Yuri and like the other girls. It's just crazy that that came in this game without me even like saying anything. It kind of just went that route. But like I hope this game is assuring to her that my feelings for her is like for real. It's crazy that the MC of this game has the right words. It's been about 2 weeks since that nightmare caused Sayori to have a breakdown. By this point in our relationship, I've really started to see what Mom warned me about. I didn't realize how bad the bad days would be. We've had a few therapy sessions since, and I was hoping the sessions went smoothly. Well, as smoothly as they can go, I guess. Along with her doctor prescribing her antidepressants, the therapist has given Sayori a diary, which she's meant to use by recording her happy and sad thoughts. By recording her sad thoughts, he's working with her to see whether those thoughts are supported by facts, basically trying to challenge her depressive thinking. I'm no expert, but it looks to me like that's the kind of therapy she needs. It's not been simple as it might seem, but to me it looks like steady but sure progress is being made. To say the least, it's a huge relief. She's also tentatively mentioned that she'd like to start going to the sessions alone, although she isn't quite at that stage yet. She said she'd see how she feels by the time the next one comes about. Still, it's been really interesting to see what therapy really entails. Definitely an eye-opening experience. On the other hand, I think the club members' girls are starting to get a little more suspicious. There have been a few days when Sayori's depressive moods become a little more apparent in school, and they were concerned for her. Still, Sayori maintained her walls. I feel bad about how in the dark the other girls were. but it isn't my position to say what's going on. Hopefully, Sayori will be comfortable telling them in her own time. Also, given it's now February, I've had to pay a little more attention to school matters, namely the end of the semester next month. Sakurai has also been talking to students about their future plans. It's scary to think that next year is my final school year. He wants to see me after the lesson ends, so for what it feels like the first time in forever, I started to think about what I want to do after I leave school. As the bell rings, he calls me over. Sakurai, not another talk. He had the same look that I had on my face when homeroom teacher wanted to talk to me about post-school plans. I appreciate his humor in this situation. He's always been efficient at helping me feel at ease, especially in situations where I feel out of my depth. If you don't know what you want to do, I wouldn't worry about it too much. After all, you're just a second year, so you do have another year to figure it out. Having said that, so do you have an idea at all? To be honest with you, sir, I haven't really given it much thought at all. The past 5 months have been really, well, they haven't really given me much to think about it. I mean, no, much time to think about it. Well, let's try this from another angle. Does higher education interest you at all, going to university? Or would you perhaps be more inclined toward finding a job as soon as you leave school? I paused for a moment to think, trying to recollect what my parents used to tell me when we had this kind of conversation. University sounds good, although I'm not sure what I study. He nods approvingly. You definitely find it easier to land a job if you have a degree under your belt. That's good to know. Then all I have to do is pick a subject, I guess. I know it can be difficult, it can be a little daunting, especially when you aren't sure. My advice would be to go with a subject you enjoy and do well in. Far from me to be biased, but you are a rather talented historian. I chuckle. What can you do with a history degree though? Am I really telling that to like a teacher? The skills you get from a history degree can transfer to a lot of other fields. A lot of historians that I knew went into journalism, academia, teaching, or even the law. Well, obviously, I'm not biased in any way, but history is the best subject to study. My science teacher says otherwise, sir. He grumbles to himself. Those... Oh, wait, what? All these scientists, if they could just pry themselves away by their Bunsen burners and glass vials for 5 minutes, ahem. Anyway, it's good that you've at least got a vague idea of what you want to do. There's no rush or anything. Just take some time to think about what you'd like to study at university. We can always have another class discussion later. Will do, sir. Thank you. With the conversation over, I made my way to the club room for lunch. Hey guys. Natsuki gives me a curt nod, while Sayori gives me a wan smile. The door opens once more and Yuri walks in. Sayori's already weak smile wavers even further. Oh my gosh, she doesn't dislike her by any means. It's just clear that jealousy is still an issue. I sigh inwardly. I have no clue on how to solve this issue, given I don't think Sayori is willing to disclose her depression with Yuri. As I pull out my food, I notice that Monica has barely greeted me. Her face is glued to her laptop with a terse look on her face. Everything alright, Monica? She finally drags her eyes off the screen and looks at me. It seems like she's only just realized I'm talking to her. Yeah, sorry, had to sort out some important emails. How are you? It's easy to spot from a mile off that her smile is forced. I decide not to push it. Not bad, not bad. Sakurai was just talking to me about what my plans after high school. Oh, my plans, what? Plans are after high school. I think it's common practice for all of teachers to ask their students, given we're second years at the end of semester, isn't so far off. Everyone's like thinking, and Sayori's just, oh no. But that was fun. We don't have to bother with that stuff just yet. Lucky, I still don't really know what I want to do. I told him I want to go to university, but I can't really decide what I want to do. Trying to realize that I probably should have given this more thought. That's a little irresponsible, Lorenzo. Your future holds so much weight, and time flies by so quickly. My face heats up a little from embarrassment. She's right, of course, but it seems like her judgment is coming out of nowhere. I look at Sayori, half expecting her to jump at my defense. She doesn't, though. Instead, she idly pokes at a spot of the table. The other girls look curiously at us. They can sense that something is up. I don't want to draw too much attention at Sayori. So I try to deflect their curiosity. How about you, Yuri? Any ideas? I decided that I want to study Japanese literature at university. Fitting choice. Yuri smiles to herself. I suppose it comes as a surprise to no one. I can imagine it would be both an exciting yet daunting experience. University. Yes. On the one hand, there's an opportunity to meet many like-minded people, all with the same passion. Yeah, there's so much independence, especially if you opt for a university far from home. And with that independence comes a lot of responsibility, and I'd imagine a fair degree of uncertainty. Who knows what life will be like for all of us when we've left school? My question hangs in the air as the conversation lapses into silence. Oh. Monica mutters something unclear under her breath. How about you, Monica? I'd imagine you got a lot of choice given how you excel in pretty much every subject. She finally closes the laptop lid with a sigh. My parents have been hounding me with the exact same question for months now. I'll probably take over their business. Huh? There's a hint of what sounds like bitterness in her voice. Granted, I know very little about her life, well, at least anything beyond surface level, so it's a little baffling. We'll have to wait and see. An awkward silence descends upon the room. Clearly, it isn't just me who detected Monica's slightly hostile tone. Luckily, Yuri breaks the silence. Are you alright, Sayori? You've been rather quiet. Yeah, that's not like you at all. Even Monica glances over at Sayori's direction. Oh, I'm fine. Just kinda tired, that's all. Don't worry about me. The other girls don't look convinced in the slightest, but they don't have much chance to press her as the lunch bell rings. I remember being in their position last semester. Boy, do I not envy them. At the end of the school day rolls around, I find myself wandering down the corridor, waiting for Sayori to finish. Along the way, I bump into Monica. Hey, Lorenzo. She keeps her voice low and quickly looks around before speaking. I can tell what she's going to ask me. Is Sayori okay? She'll be fine, just dealing with some stuff, that's all. Compared to the last time she was acting off in school, you seem a lot less worried. That was when I knew less stuff about her. She narrows her eyes at me. I guess what I said must have come across as pretty cryptic. Okay, well let me know if I can help in any way, okay? We, the other club members, we're all friends after all, don't forget. Of course. What a stupid question, Lorenzo. It's appreciated. I'll see what Sayori thinks. Oh, okay then. Well, I'll see you later. Well, I think Sayori is definitely more convincing than I am. She walks off. After a couple of moments, Sayori comes out of her class. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. Let's go. Do you know what was up with Monica? Funny you mention her because she was just ask me what was up with you. Oh, what did you tell her? Just that you're dealing with stuff. Didn't give her any specifics. They're worried about you though. Have you considered telling them? Not really. They're our friends, Sayori. They know something is up. I know. I can sense that this isn't a topic Sayori wants to discuss any further. Anyway, no, I don't know why Monica seems so snappy at lunch. She mentioned her parents, so they're probably being a bit overbearing. Must be difficult to maintain the model student image when you're at the top. When you're at the top, the only place to go from there is down. Juggling academics with sports and other extracurriculars must be really stressful. I don't know how she does it, to be honest. I feel a little sorry for Natsuki though. The conversation kind of excluded her. I know for sure that when I was a first year, post-school plans hadn't even crossed my mind. Yeah, I thought that too. Well, we'll make sure to include her next time. Good shout. After dumping our things aside, I pull out my Hey mom. Ah, Lorenzo. I said that's so weird, but my voice is hurting. Try it again. Ah, Lorenzo. Nope. Ah, Lorenzo. That's it. Nice of you to remember you have a mother. I winced slightly. I knew this was coming. I know. I really should have called you earlier. It's not that I didn't want to or anything. Anyway, Sayori is with me now. Do you want to say hello? I'd love to. I press a button on the phone, which transforms the call into a video call. My goodness, is that really you, Sayori? The last time I saw you, you were barely a teenager. Sayori laughs shyly. I guess I'm putting her on the spot there a little. Hey, it's really nice to see you again. And you, dear? I hope Lorenzo has been treating you well. I shoot Sayori a desperate look. This could be a perfect opportunity to enact some revenge for all the times I teased her. Of course, he's been really good to me. That's lovely to hear. Looks like my little prince has truly matured. They share a laugh as I turn slightly red from embarrassment. Mom, really, little prince? I'm sorry, darling. I'm just so proud of you. Or at least we've established what Sayori is going to be calling me for the next few days. They continue to giggle at my expense. He's always been like this, hasn't he? Quick to tease others, but once they do it to him, he gets all huffy. Sayori, don't take her side. You're my girlfriend. She's trying and failing to keep a straight face. Okay, no more teasing. Sorry, I just had to get you back for not calling for me for so long. How did your December exams go? I briefly described my results along with Sakurai's comments. Well, that's reassuring to hear. I was wondering how you'd fare living by yourself, so I'm glad to hear that your academics are going well. Sakurai has a point though, your grades and math could be better, young man. Sayori, you're going to have to knock him into shape. He's always been bad with discipline. I snort in derision. And you're asking Sayori of all people to help me with that? Hey, mom sighs dramatically. Sorry, Sayori. He can be really mean sometimes, can't he? Must have got that from his father. There's an awkward silence. Things have been very rocky between mom and dad since the divorce. By the way, I've got some good news. We're almost finished dealing with this particular client, and I have no one else to deal with for a week. So I'm hoping to come and see you soon. My heart races. As much as I've loved being able to basically live with Sayori, seeing mom again after so long would be really nice. That's awesome, mom. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, I've been meaning to ask you, how have... She's cut short by the sound of someone calling her. It sounds pretty urgent. I don't know, I was hoping I'd had more time to talk to you. Sorry, darling, I'm gonna have to go. We'll catch up probably, all three of us, when I come to visit you. Don't forget, it's Valentine's Day coming up really soon, and I want to hear about how you've been treating Sayori like a princess for it. She laughs softly and waves goodbye. Like, I forgot how nice your mom is. Yeah, she's always been such a good parent. She was a lifesaver back in November after our fight. He's such a mommy's boy. Hey, it's a good thing. It's really cute. I get the feeling you're mocking me, but because I know I can't win this battle, I reluctantly concede. The Ice Queen wins again. You're a real clown, you know that? True, but I'm your clown. I prefer the one from the horror movie we watched with Yuri. Oh my gosh. The rest of the day passes, but relatively quickly. After finishing our homework, we spent the evening kicking back with some video games. This has been our routine for a while now. Sayori coming over, we finish our homework, and then relax. It's simple but effective. I'm glad that we're both happy just to sit back and relax in each other's company. And again, Sayori has never been a high maintenance kind of girl. Watching her now with her shy blue eyes narrowed in concentration, God, I love her. Is now the right time to say it though? What if she doesn't feel the same way? That'll be a little awkward to say the least. Nah, now isn't the time. I was curious, Sayori. What do you want to do after you finish school? You didn't say anything at lunch. I don't really know. I thought that going into therapy might be a good idea, but no, forget it. It's a stupid idea. It's not stupid at all. It is. I don't know if I'd be any good at it. I can't even help myself. How can I help others? Oh, so she was thinking about... Okay, I understand. You're good at keeping the spirits high in the club, at least. People appreciate having you around, and it's definitely more comfortable in an atmosphere. Definitely more comfortable in atmosphere when you're there. It's one thing to keep peace in a high school club, but helping people with really big problems as a therapist, you know, the really horrible things that people have to live with, it's a whole other story. Have you mentioned it to your teacher at least? They might be able to point you in the right direction. I haven't, no. Truthfully, I haven't thought about the future much. Or at least we're alike in the same sense, although our reasoning for it is rather different. We've got plenty of time though, right? Yeah, I guess we do. The conversation tails off into silence. I suppose thinking about the future is quite difficult for Sayori, so I make a mental note not to push it. Anyway, it's getting late. Let's call it a night. Can I be the big spoon tonight? Not sure how that'll work, but sure. Oh my goodness. As Sakurai finishes explaining the morning task and settles down to mark some papers, I find myself absent-mindedly fiddling with my pen. Pulling open my textbook, I flip to the relevant pages. Suddenly, I am aware of a poking sensation on my shoulder. Ohio, Emmy. Surprised you weren't late today. Hey, it's not my fault. Track practice ran on for so long today. I mean, isn't it? Don't you decide how many laps you run? Semantics, Lorenzo. I chuckle to myself. If you say so. Anyway, you wouldn't happen to have any good Valentine's ideas, would you? Mom brought it up yesterday. I didn't realize how quickly Valentine's has come around this year. My boyfriend only got out of the hospital a few days ago, so we're just taking things slow. I think he mentioned wanting to take me to a tea house though. Hospital? Is he alright? Yeah, just heart stuff. Anyway, what have you and Sayori got planned? That's what that's what I was asking you for. Neither of us have really mentioned doing anything for it. I've never done anything for Valentine's before, so I'm totally out of my depth here. She's your girlfriend, Lorenzo. Shouldn't you know her the best? Yeah, but relationships, man, they're confusing. Just ask her. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to be direct. Well, unless she's expecting a surprise from you, that is. Then, well, you're on your own there. Some help you are. What happened to the female intuition? We can't give you all the answers, Lorenzo. Sometimes you've got to work things out for yourself. Yeah, because me trying to figure out what the best thing to say and do in our relationship is going so well. Life's unfair. After class ends, I make my way to the club room. As I open the door, I realize that it's just Natsuki inside. When was the last time I even spoke to her alone? Hey. Afternoon. Listen, I need your help with something. She looks at me suspiciously. With what? Well, you're a girl, and thanks for noticing. And you see, where would a girl want to be taken for Valentine's Day? And how long have you known Sayori for? Why does this sound so familiar? Is it really a crime for me to ask for some Valentine's suggestions? A while, but in my defense, I've only been with her for what, 2 months? And I was thinking of like some kind of restaurant, but I don't know which ones are good or not. The door opens and Monica and Yuri walk in. What are you two talking about? I glance desperately at Natsuki, hoping she doesn't expose me in front of everyone. Lorenzo was asking me where he should take his girlfriend for Valentine's Day. Oh, I groan. Jeez, when you put it like that, I just need some pointers, that's all. The door opens for his second time and Sayori wanders in. If it were down to me, I wouldn't even bother. Valentine's is pointless. All this sappy stuff, yuck. People hugging and kissing in public, giving each other sappy cards, no thanks. It's quite a romantic day though, people telling their parents how much they mean to them. And the little gifts, the thoughtfulness. Yeah, it's great if you like that, but keep it away from me. Something else I don't get is that Valentine's is supposed to be a day where you show your love for your partner, blah blah blah. But aren't you meant to do that every day? Thought so. So it's safe to say that Cupid didn't shoot you with any arrows this year then? Oh, that probably wasn't too good. Sayori's laughing, but uh-oh. She glares at me as Sayori giggles. We all know you're a softie at heart, Natsuki. I am not. There's nothing wrong with admitting it. Just wait until you get a boyfriend. As we're digging into our food, Monica taps me on the shoulder. I think I might have a solution for your crisis. Oh? There's a really nice restaurant in town that I went to last year with the debate club. It's called the Amber Beehive and their food is really good. It's a little on the formal side though, so you probably have to wear something smart. See if Sayori has a dress or something. Seems kinda sophisticated. Would they take a bunch of teenagers? Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? Well, the formal dress code and all, wouldn't we feel really out of place? Excuse me. Sorry guys, I'm just not feeling good. Sorry, I'm just as you can see, new to dating and all that. I need some water. You're really a lightsaber, Monica. Don't mention it. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm sorry for snapping at you at lunchtime yesterday. Parents, that's okay. I imagine you had a lot on your plate. Besides, you rescued my Valentine's, so you redeem yourself. That's good to hear. And by the way, you can never go wrong with the fried squid. I said fried squid. Sounds good. Duly noted. Maybe I'll be able to salvage the Valentine's after all. I hope I can remember to like edit that out. Just me coughing like crazy. Sorry, Sayori. I don't want to get you sick. So, what are our Valentine's plans? Sayori? Eh? Oh, sorry, I was spacing out. Oh my gosh, dude, I can't. But she said, sorry, I was spacing out. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't really given it much thought. Oh, well, whew. I'm glad it isn't just me. I was worrying you'd have expected me to do something. Wait, what? To have something planned. What with this being my first relationship and all, I'm hardly experienced in that department. She giggles softly at my sheepishness. Don't worry about it, Lorenzo. We can just play it by ear tomorrow. Winging it, huh? Yeah, it sounds more like me. Anyway, I've been really lagging behind with homework. I've got a lot to do, so do you mind if we don't spend this evening together? But this is convenient. Now I can look up bookings for the restaurant without giving away the surprise. Oh sure. I was just about to say the same thing actually. I'll see you tomorrow then. Okay. See you later, Lorenzo. She gives me a quick kiss and heads off inside. As I settle into the sofa, I quickly notice that the living room lights are on. Did my mom come home? Guys, I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit, guys. So just turn off my camera for a bit. And yeah, so I'm just gonna keep reading it. Well, no, I'll keep my camera back on. Why not? Just so I can see my expression. Someone break in? Anyone there? It's me, mama. Was she making some food? What is she making? Teriyaki, one of my favorites. My treat for you. There isn't much left to do anyway. Are you sure? That is true. A mother's like cooking is like the best. That is definitely true. So we're gonna talk about the club. It all started when I saw Sayori on the sidewalk. Mom smiles as I recount how my feelings for Sayori started to blossom. And then there was Halloween. We all dressed up, broke into school, Did I really just tell my mom we broke into school? Wrote some spooky poems and summoned a Shinto spirit. You did what now? Dressed up? Not that. Wrote some spooky poems? You know what I'm referring to. Oh, the breaking into school thing. Why would I say that? Come on, Mom. It was just a bunch. It was just a bit of harmless fun. Didn't you say you caught a spirit over? Yo, I'm gonna be like quite honest. Like a Ouija board. My mom said she used to play with it when she grew up. And like I think the past Halloween, like my mom came over to visit, so like her and I just wanted to play it for fun. And like here I am like talking about a Ouija board in this game. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're talking about November now. Good Santas, Shinto Ghosts, what a mix. Okay, so she's gonna call it a night already. I've got a lot of homework to be getting on with anyway, so that's fine. Good boy. I love you, Lorenzo. Love you too, Mom. See you tomorrow. Yuri. Evening, Lorenzo. Do you have plans? Wait, do you have any plans for this evening? Yeah, sorry, Yuri. I have a lot of homework to be getting on with. Oh, what do you have to do? Perhaps I could help you out. I paused my finger. My finger is hovering over the screen. Sayori's never said that I couldn't hang out with Yuri, and I don't think that she's a controlling type. Even though I know I'm not doing anything inherently wrong by spending time with Yuri, I couldn't help but feel like I'd make Sayori jealous worse if I did. Wait, read that one more time. But even though I can't help but feel like I'd make Sayori's jealousy worse if I did. But then again, I did say that I help Yuri out with her loneliness. Although this was before I knew the impact it would have on Sayori. No, it's okay. There's a lot to do, but I can handle it. Thanks so. There's a pause in her reply. It's okay, Lorenzo. Hope you have a pleasant evening. I can't help but feel guilty as I put my phone away. I hope she doesn't think I'm ignoring her. Given her personality, it's definitely possible. Why can't this just be simple and not so complicated? I'm kind of glad like it didn't make me have a choice. Honestly, I'm kind of glad it just went straight forward for it. Like, yeah. You think that for my first relationship, life would be nice and not throw me into the deep end? I mull it over as I finish the rest of my homework. I climb into bed exhausted. Today wasn't a taxing day, at least physically. For a mental perspective, it's a whole other story. I still wish that I could do much more for Sayori, and the uncertainty on how to deal with Yuri isn't helping. Still, it's nice to know that I'm not alone in the house. It'll probably be worth talking to Mom about the whole situation with Sayori tomorrow. I probably should have talked to Mom a little more. She's been in my exact same position before. Well, better late than never, right? Oh man. Oh my goodness. Okay guys, that has been almost an hour and about 20 minutes, almost. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there, guys. I'm gonna save my game and then we will come back later onto the next video, guys. Was it? Yeah, save game. There we go. Okay, 3:46 a.m. for me, guys. So this is it right there. Okay. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Until the next video, guys. So today what we got out of, we went to therapy with Sayori. I think it went well. We hung out together. Sayori came over, spent the night with me. I think I made the right choice that she spent the night with me, because if she would have went home and went to sleep, she would have had a nightmare by herself and no comfort. And I probably just would have went to school without even knowing anything. And I'm kind of glad I did that choice, so we had the day off to talk with each other. And I was like venting about what I think about Doki Doki. It's just overall crazy game, but overall I love the game. I love all of the girls, but specifically Sayori, guys. Love her a lot. It's still so nerve-wracking. But guys, thank you all again for watching, guys, and catch me in the next video, guys. I will see y'all later.